Virtuous Devotional Thoughts for Women, written by Monica Diaz, read by Belinda Sainsbury.
Good morning, dear friends. Today, October 27th, our devotional is entitled Dying to Self, the True Proof of Discipleship. You cut and style your hair, but you always forget to do the same with your ego. Einstein. I want to be Christ's disciple, and I imagine you do too. Otherwise, it wouldn't make much sense for you to be reading this book. When I stop and think about what the essence of Christian discipleship is, I reach some very specific conclusions that show glimpses of my own self-centered view of the world. Then, I find myself face to face with the authentic principle of Christian discipleship, which, by the way, is universal, not cultural, and realize how far I am from properly approaching this subject. Jesus was very clear. If any of you want to be my followers, you must forget about yourself. You must take up your cross every day and follow me. Luke 9:23. Yes, I want to. But what exactly does it mean to take up my cross? I will begin with what is clearly not. Taking up my cross cannot refer to bearing with personal sacrifice all the discomforts that our day-to-day life brings. Tight finances, a migraine that will not go away, an uncommunicative husband, children that trouble us with their age-appropriate problems, brothers and sisters from church who think differently than we do, a terminal illness. Non-Christians who have learned to develop emotional intelligence also bear these burdens with dignity, and they are far from intending to become Christ's disciples. Taking up my cross must therefore be much more than bearing life's hardships with mettle. People in the first century who heard Jesus talk about discipleship were very sure of what the cross was: an instrument of death, an object that immediately led them to think of a criminal sentence and therefore to abandon all hope of life in this world. That was the cross then, and that's still the cross today. Setting aside all self-centered expectation of life here and now to focus our efforts on the being who has placed eternal life within our reach. Taking up our cross each day is making the decision to die. Dying to what? To self. Dying to the interest I harbor only to boost my ego. Dying to self in the sense of consciously feeding the spiritual and starving to death the material and superficial, which draws me away from Christ's discipleship to make me a disciple of my own self. Just as I trim and style my hair, I must not forget to trim and style my ego. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. Philippians 1:21.